said, look, why the people kept saying to me, why do you want Maddison? He's crap, Dan. He's rubbish. Blah, blah. I thought, well, listen, let's see what Odegaard does. He's definitely not crap, but he hasn't done as well at Tottenham, of course. But
thank the Lord.
Then Odegaard started banging him in. And I thought, right, there we go. Forget the Maddison thing then. I don't want Maddison. I want this guy. This guy's been unbelievable. And now I'm still waiting for him to do that again. And it's been another 2 seasons gone now. So when I look at his 29, 28 games he's played for Arsenal this season, and he's got 2 goals and 4 assists, that's rubbish. Let's just say how it is. It's rubbish.
Edison got the same amount of assists, unfortunately, man.
Come on, man. Do you know I said that?
He's better than that. He needs to fix up.
Right? It's coming back from Brentford and there's rail replacements. I had to get buses and stuff. Waiting for the bus, and I said to my brother-in-law, I said, look at this stat. Edison's got the same amount of assists as Odegaard, or more assists than Odegaard. And the guy behind me was an Arsenal fan. Do you know what he said? He said, yeah, but Edison's played every game this season. I said, bruv, he's a goalkeeper.
I have some shame. Whoever said that, have some shame, man.
Goalkeeper.
Odegaard knows he needs to fix up, man. Like this, Odegaard, you're a good player, but that is disgraceful. And I feel we've got into a bit of a trap with Odegaard. Like, I've never looked at you to be a goal scorer, and I do think you've become a goal scoring midfielder. So people are looking to that. I more looked at you to kind of run the show. You get into the final third, but you're not scoring. You're not dictating the tempo. I do think where you look at the 2022-23 season, we was almost an anomaly. People didn't really know what we was doing. We've become a marked target. I do think because of the low blocks and our inability to do something about that, there is a bit of a tax that's applied on all our attackers. But you don't become a good or bad player overnight. I don't know what it is. Odegaard needs to fix up. You need to fix up. Like you said there, Dan, unfortunately, you've got the same amount of assists as Edison. The man's a goalie. Fair enough, City, but come on, man. Come on. Bro, come on. You're better than that.
Good shout from Ryan. If we do get that centre forward, I want to see what Odegaard's like. Because when he's had a striker in front of him, he's actually done a hell of a lot better when you look at it, to be fair to him. So, Isak at Real Sociedad.
Don't you reckon, Dan, how far does that go? Like, obviously, good players will always play good with good players, right? And we all know we need a striker and unlock Odegaard and that. But don't you think it gets a bit scary and dangerous once we start getting into that scenario? Like what as much as we like Martinelli, we had that as well with Martinelli. Oh, we need the Xhaka replacement. He needs the inverted left back or the overlapping left back, which all of this is valid. Of course, football's about relationships. But at the end of the day, surely it's just about the player. We were saying, oh, he needs Saka back. When Saka's back, the relationship, blah, 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 Saka's back. Fair enough, Marino might not be at the bee's knees up front, but he's showing he's in a purple patch. Before, like, surely as much as I like Odegaard, surely we've got to look at Martin. Like, there's something you need to do. I don't know if you're carrying an injury. I don't know if it's just a thing where it's just a rotten season. I don't know what is. I don't know if it's psychological. You're overthinking everything, but surely it's not about that anymore, man. Because over 2 legs, we've seen Partey and Rice do madness, and you should be the one we should be waffling about against Real Madrid the most, against all 3 of your team. Well, the 2 teammates you got in the middle of the park. So I just think he just has to. I just think this season's a write-off for Odegaard. He needs to get it together, but I genuinely just think it's a write-off. Like, it's just not going to happen right now.
No, I quite agree, if I'm honest. I don't think it's worked out for him, and there's been a handful of games where he started to get back into it. Funnily enough, 2 of the better games that I saw him play was when he first come back. I think Chelsea, he was one of our better players. Look, I've never denied his work rate. I've never denied that he gives 110. His press is unbelievable, but I've got to be real with him when I say that I think this season has been very, very underwhelming, if I'm honest, bruv. Let's talk about the other 2 midfielders, though, bruv, because they have not been underwhelming. Thomas Partey's been our best midfielder this season. Very silly for him to get a yellow card. I was disappointed, if I'm honest with you, from that.
Yeah.
But I've got to be honest with you, and I say that I think Declan Rice's 2 performances are 2 of the best individual midfield performances I've seen since the Patrick Vieira days at Arsenal. That's how good he has been. The free kicks were outstanding in the first leg, but I'm with you what you said earlier. I thought the second leg he was an absolute monster and a menace. I've been so impressed by what I've seen from Declan Rice. And do you know what's mad? I've been flipping and flopping with Kenny Ken and others about where his best position is. I do believe still it's a 6, and I'm going to stand by that. However, I'm not saying he can't play there, because how can you say he can't play there when he's all everywhere? And I don't actually know where his position was the other night. He was literally everywhere on the pitch. He covered every blade of grass. It was just an outstanding performance from him, man. So Partey and Rice, man, talk to me.
Partey, it's a shame that, it looks like you're probably going to leave the football club, really. I don't know if you're going to sign a new deal. I don't know what our plans are in terms of recruitment, but Partey has a a case to be our player of the season. There's a few really and truly. Partey's been quality. It was quality across the two legs. The worst thing you can say is what you said there is unfortunately you've got the yellow card and we're starting to do the mathematics. Is it going to be Jorginho? What is Arteta going to do there? I mean, Partey's temperament. They've complemented each other across both legs incredibly well. Declan Rice is Declan Rice. Of course, when you've just smashed in 2 free kicks, you've been amazing. I preferred. I don't know actually if I preferred the performance at the Bernabeu, but I think I did. Yeah, he scored 2 free kicks, but he's up and down the pitch. He's talking his teammates through it. You've seen the kind of comments and videos in the tunnel and whatnot. Like Declan Rice is just amazing. He's just everything you wanted and more, man. It's like we owe West Ham a lot more money. I'm not gonna say Declan Rice is a complete midfielder, but I feel like he's becoming a more complete midfielder of what Declan Rice is. We all know ball winning, defensive, all of that stuff. He has that. We all know as well in an Arsenal shirt, he's been taking set pieces and he's doing his thing in that regards. And actually, both of them did well against Brentford in the draw. Declan Rice is just everything we wanted. That's what you spend £105 million for. I always get annoyed when people talk about players, yeah, because of course it's always nice to talk about what a player can do. But I just feel in this day and age, people don't judge footballers on what they are. And Declan Rice is never going to be the most prettiest of centre midfielders and whatnot, but he's bossed it. Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Valverde, this one, that one, then the third. They all were kept quiet. It's Declan Rice, Thomas Partey who have been held in highest regards. And as we know, it's football's decided in both ends. You need to score goals, you need to defend, but it's in the midfield. And those three, obviously, we got inverted fullbacks and all of that, but our 2 midfielders in the engine room, Partey and Rice, they stood tall. That's what you want to see. And I'll be surprised if Declan Rice at some point doesn't captain this football club, if I'm honest.
Well, let's talk about that more because the super chat's coming here saying from AMD, big up to you, says people said I was crazy for saying that Declan should become our captain in the near future. He's literally everything you need in a leader. If I'm honest with you, bruv, I don't see him being a future Arsenal captain because Erdegaard's the same age as him and he is our captain. So it's not like Erdegaard's going to throw that armband and go, don't want it anymore. Gabriel and Rice are the two that I would have picked as my captains. I would have put Gabriel before we signed Rice anyway as the captain and Declan Rice as the vice, because then Gabriel at least is a couple of years older than Declan Rice. He might be able to pass the armband on one day. But I look at Declan Rice's performance in the home and away leg and think, yeah, that is a true leader and captain performance. And if I was to say to you who's the leader on this pitch without armbands being on there, I would point at him and say that's the guy.
Declan, yeah.
Look, do you think there's any slim chance that there's an opportunity of a captain change at Arsenal, or do you just think Mikel Arteta won't do it?
I don't think he's gonna do it. You never know. Stranger things have happened, but it's definitely, if it was gonna happen, it's gonna have to happen in the off season, and it's not gonna happen now. And at the same time, yeah, Odegaard might be the captain, and we've spoken about Odegaard, and he does need to fix up. And a lot of what people are saying is valid. But at the end of the day, if you're a leader, you're a leader. Like we've seen Invincibles, we've seen many a team that's won stuff. You've got a captain, but if you've got something to say it. And that hasn't stopped Declan Rice anymore at this moment in time. Everybody here has played football. You know who to gravitate towards. We saw what Declan was doing. We saw what Magalhaes normally does. So yeah, you made a good point. They are the same age. Don't expect any of them to leave anytime soon. But it's not stopping Declan Rice being a leader anyways. Like, just keep doing what you're doing, Declan, in that case. And you've also got Bukayo as well.
Yeah, I've said before that I never ever poo-pooed the 5 captain situation with Emery. I didn't like it. I wanted one captain. But I think that was kind of worded incorrectly from Unai, if I'm honest.
The leadership group thing.
Exactly. We've got leaders in this team was what he should have said, right? We don't have 5 captains. We've got a captain, but we've got leaders. We've got a vice captain. And if it gets passed down the pecking order to these 5 individuals that we believe are leaders of the team, that's really a way he should have said it. So when I look at what we've got right now, Gabriel, Rice, Erdegaard's in there, Saka. I'm probably going to put Saliba in there because he's impressed me in the last 2 games at big games. And then you can look at the experienced lads after that, like Jesus and Jorginho, if they're still on the pitch at that time, right? But they're the ones for me that are 100%, all of them, good enough to lead us forward. And that's why this first 11, we're so close, DG. We need that kind of squad now, that 4 or 5 players, which we'll touch on later in the show before we close. I do think that we're that close, man, to actually have
with it, man.
Solid. Yeah, and we've been flirting too long now, bruv. Yeah, we've wasted a lot of windows because we should be there now and we're not, which is why it's still time to deliver, but it should be time to deliver with a squad that's even stronger than this one because we've wasted a few windows and maybe got a few positions wrong and put money on areas that we didn't need to spend. So, that for me is what's become a little frustrating. But look, we can't move without talking about the back line because I thought every single one of them were outstanding. And I appreciate Saliba had a bit of a moment where the goal came from. I thought he was faultless until that point. Kivior was faultless the whole game. Thought he
Big
was
up Kivio.
outstanding. And the two fullbacks, I mean, you said it. They deserve all the praise. Both legs. This Lewis Skelly kid is
Ridiculous.
sensational. I mean, the strength of the kid at 18 and Timber. I'm seeing performances that put him in the best in the bracket of best in the world in his position right now. I don't know another fullback that does what he does. I know that Trent's
Or as all
fantastic going
rounded as
forward.
Timber.
All round. There you go. Trent's brilliant going forward. Questions at the back. Hakimi, I think he's doing it, but is he doing it consistently on the same level as Timber in every single competition? I'm not too sure. So talk to me about this back four, man. They were outstanding the other night.
I mean, the back four is one thing, but the defensive ethos, like, yeah, we need to get over the line and we need to do things. But a lot of people have mocked Arsenal for being negative and low blocks and all of this stuff. There has to be a correlation between how we have fixed up defensively with us generally over the last 3 years, and obviously with the Madrid game, keeping clean sheets, being better defensively, having that kind of confidence to go to the Bernabeu and sit in shape and deal with stuff. And yeah, we know Kivio is not to the level of Gabriel Magalhaes, and there was concerns. And obviously, Kivio has stood up to be counted. You might not be Gabriel Magalhaes, but you've put your best foot forward. But also, it's testament to the system, how we defend from the front, how the the wingers are helping the fullbacks, what our engine room that me and you was waffling about does, how Marino, anyone playing through the middle. So we needed that. And our defensive ethos is spot on. We know about our shape, and our back line stood up too. Clearly confidence. And one thing, I'm not going to say it's the thing I like the most for all the talking points, but Saliba makes an interception. Kivior is patting him. The same going for Lewis Skelly. Like, you can see players that want to defend. During the Emirates era, that hasn't been the thing, really. We all know we would do it in the middle third and the final third. Defensively, we'd fall off. So big up everyone in that back four, especially the players that might not have been playing if people were fit. Kivior, big up yourself. I don't know if you've changed maybe Arsenal's thinking. Do we hold on to you? Have you put yourself in the shop window? Do you get more minutes if we need to rest Magalhaes? But two of the most important fixtures, you stood up tall, man. Timber's doing what he's doing. Lewis Skelly, you're doing what you're doing. Saliba needed to be a leader, and he did. I know, like you said, he dropped a clanger, but over these 2 legs, he's been bloody fantastic. I mean, who knows? He probably made that mistake because Madrid have been linked with him, and he plans to stay in at Arsenal a couple of years, man. So it's probably all part of the process. And that speaks of going back to what you said about how close we are. I know football's different, but Saka has missed a penalty. Saliba's dropped a clanger. We got no striker, really. We got a centre mid playing left back. Well, crazy things are happening. But, you know, Martinelli's form has been on the floor. And we've managed to put in 2 results like that and go into the semi-finals. So imagine if we get the summer spot on. We get more quantity in terms of players. We add quality into this starting 11. All the things Mikel Arteta needs to address from a tactical front happens. Like finding a way to generally break down low blocks. I'm not going to say we'd be unstoppable, but, you know, there'd probably be a couple of parades in North London on a more regular basis, man. Like, we're that close. Hopefully, Berta can do something, Dan, man.
Bruv, he needs to do something. And if I'm honest with you, mate, I've got confidence that this summer could be quite... I'm reassured that we've got this guy in place now, is what I'm saying. I'm kind of hoping.
Fingers, everything crossed, man.
But from what we hear, it's looking pretty good, man. It really is. But look, man, I think everybody 100% has to hold a massive amount of appreciation. I think the fans were exceptional. I think the fans done their job home and away. Absolutely brilliant. And then I think the last person we have to bring up, bro, is the manager. Because
big up, Mikel
Arteta got everything right in the home and away leg. And I don't think we do give him enough praise sometimes. I've been very critical of him, and I think I've been justified in being critical at times, but certainly ain't going to be critical for him over the home and away leg in against Madrid, because he did everything I wanted him to do. He didn't go gung-ho. He didn't sit back. He didn't put 10 behind the ball. He got the balance correct. I think every department did their job. And I think the manager deserves a lot of plaudits for that, man. And I'll say, apart from the FA Cup win, this is his best night as an Arsenal manager. His best 100%. Achievement. So that's what I would say. And if I'm honest with you, he wins this Champions League, I'll take it back.
Get him a statue, man.
About him, man. Yeah, exactly.
Get him a statue. He deserves it.
Bruv, he would deserve it, man, 100%. I said to Cecil that I'd eat some humble pie next to his statue and take a picture of it with Turkish and Troops and Curtis and everyone that doubted him. So that's what I will do. Look, man, I hope we can win it. Let's move to that. PSG and then Barca or Inter. How would you see these games going, and how do you think we approach these?
It's going to be a different game than the one at the Emirates against PSG, that's for sure. I'd imagine, well, I don't know. I imagine Mikel Arteta's press conference today will be asked about Jorginho. Naturally, the biggest, well, not the biggest talking point, but Thomas Partey. Does Jorginho come into the mix? Does he move Marino into midfield and then go with Trossard or something up front? I think it will be another tactical kind of battle. You've got Luis Enrique and Mikel Arteta. They're overthinkers. They've got players standing in certain positions. Both teams can hurt each other on the transition. Both teams play very well out from the back. PSG have been probably one of the most, if not the most, exciting side in Europe, really and truly, man. The only thing I would say is from the two legs I've seen against Aston Villa, I do think they'll give us chances. I do think they have lapses in concentration defensively, and we have to take them. I actually think the game will be decided at the Parc de France because they had Liverpool camped in their own half. I wouldn't say Villa were camped in their own half, but it was a kind of one of those kind of games, man. So yeah, we're so far, man. So close, but so far. Big up Don in the chat. Don, I saw your tweet going viral about, you know, Declan Rice at the Bernabeu, man. Dan was speaking about humble pie. He's going all around, mate. Make sure you're following Don, though.
Bro, hopefully Don's got himself a nice bit of cherry pie because he already has to eat some humble pie because he had give us no chance against Real Madrid. Listen, I know it's tough for you, Don, losing to Legia Warsaw and shit in the Conference League. At least you went through, though, bruv. At least you went through. Make sure you win that Conference League, you know. Don't be losing to Fiorentina.
Yeah. Uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, it's going to be like we lose to a Barcelona. It's a lot easier to take as much as it's disappointing than losing to Fiorentina in a dusty Conference League, man. So just make sure that you do it, man, because, you know, you're a lot of confidence with it. Do you know there's a tweet as well from Don I saw today that said, thank God that Roman has sold this beautiful club to amazing owners. Oh, dear. Your owners are dusty, man.
Big up the Chelsea Cowboys, man.
Yeah, I mean, 1.5 million, and they can't, 1.5 bill, sorry, then they can't get into the top four, let alone win a title. Crikey. Here he is. At least he's a man about it.
Man. That's what it's about. We've all got humble pie. Like, I've got to eat some humble pie about Arsenal. I had confidence we wouldn't get embarrassed against Real Madrid, but I didn't think we'd go through. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like, that's all that matters. My
humble pie has been, man. My humble pie has been in freezers. It's come out and defrosted. It's gone back in freezers. It's gone to the fridge. It's gone warmed up, ready to eat. Then it's gone back in the freezer. Honestly, man, it's been hard with Arteta. It really has. It really has, man. Jordan with the super chat says, if we don't win the Champions League, is still Arteta out? Listen, I said if he wins a trophy at May that we'd keep him. If he doesn't, I'd remove him. So I've got to stay by that. Look, beating Real Madrid's fantastic, but it doesn't give him another 2 or 3 year contract. Let's just be real. He's staying whatever, Jordan. So whether you believe that he is going to go,
it's redundant.
It don't really matter, does it? What you want, he's staying here for another few years. And obviously with Andrea Berta coming in, we hope we have a good summer, man. So let's see what happens. Look, DG, PSG is going to be tough. If we put in a performance like we have home and away against Real Madrid, would you be quietly confident that we could do it and get to the final, bro?
I mean, you're looking for your team to inspire you, innit? I know we're a good team. I know Arteta can set us up tactically, but also we're new to this kind of Champions League format under the gaffer. You put in a performance like that against Real Madrid across the two legs where there's many things we've discussed that are very different. You've given me confidence that you can go out there and do what needs to be done. Now you can't get excited about Real Madrid. You got to earn the right to win. PSG is a difficult task, but we've sent a statement out that, okay, cool, we might be, quote unquote, the new kids on the block, but people should be scared of us. So let's go out there and try, man. I do think the game is, well, ultimately the game was decided at the Emirates against Real Madrid. I think the opposite will be true against PSG. I actually think we'll beat them at home. I think we need to take something from their place, man. I think the Parc de France is going to be a good test. We've seen their fullbacks, Hakimi and Mendes, so it'd be keen to see them against two very good wingers in us. Good battles all over the field, the midfield, the wingers against the fullbacks against the wingers. Yeah, man, it'll be interesting, bro. It'll be interesting. So yeah, man, bring it on.
It will be. I'm looking forward to it, bruv. I really am, and I hope and pray that we can do what is probably the unthinkable to some, and that's win the Champions League. I said I wanted the Champions League, bruv. That was the one I wanted ahead of the Premier League.
I'll be unbearable for a minute.
It'd be unbelievable. Let me ask you this before we move. Do you think if let's say we're in the final, let's get ahead of ourselves. We're beating PSG, it's unbelievable. Scenes are amazing. Who do you want, Barca or Inter?
Barca. You saw what happened in 06, what we was 30 minutes away from. I give us more of a chance against against Barca. You know, they've got Yalmao and Rafinha and obviously Hansi Flick and stuff. But I just think They do the high line thing. We do the high line thing. They can go to sleep defensively. We've definitely got elements of that. I don't really want to play Inter because they limit the space. It feels like they're very hungry. Against Bayern Munich, whenever they need a goal, they kind of hit back immediately. They play with two strikers, which you don't normally see. Seems like Lautaro Martinez is in a great bit of form. They've got Barella. I just think Inter. Me and you have done a few streams while the Champions League's obviously been going on. I just think Inter has been a team that I've wanted to avoid. Although to be fair, just like against PSG, we did play well against Inter in the league phase. We did get done by a dodgy penalty. We did have our own. Didn't really have that many chances, but we did have chances. I'd rather Barca, man, but I do think if anything, it will be Inter in the final because I just think across two legs, Barca will get done, man. But I'd rather Barca. Hopefully, we get them.
I want Barca for obviously revenge from 2006, but I actually do believe we can get at them. I do believe that there's an opportunity for us to really hurt their defense. The problem is they've got an opportunity to hurt us, and they've got moments players: Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski. Still, Pedri, I think, is probably one of the best, if not the best midfielder in the world. I think he's that good. As for Inter Milan, I think they've probably got one of the best eights in Barella and probably one of the best defenders in Bastoni and in Inzaghi that really frustrates the life out of me because he's so good tactically.
And they've been burnt before as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to Dan from Chelsea, BDB Dan, big up to him. He was saying that Arsenal could actually go through playing two teams they've already played to win this competition in PSG and Inter. And you're right, we could. We've got PSG now. If Inter Milan are in the final, that means we actually already know what we're coming up against. We've already had to at least coach ourselves against them already. So maybe that's an advantage. I don't know. I think Northside and Lee and Aaron last night made a really good point as well in relation to Arsenal. Yeah, big up to them, man. Arsenal losing away first and then not being able to go through at the Emirates has actually been something that we've consistently kind of done in the Europa League and Champions League, right?
The away goes away.
Yeah, there was only Bayern Munich last season where we had it first and then away leg second where we went out. So yeah, I kind of believe that maybe it could be a good thing for us against PSG. In the final, don't matter. It's one game off, roll the dice, see what happens. But I just want to get there first, man. So we'll have to see what happens there, bro. Have to see what happens there. Look, we do revert back to Premier League this weekend. We've got Ipswich. I'm going to the game. It's literally about 20 minutes from me because I'm an Essex boy, so it's nice.
Yeah.
So it's across the border of Suffolk.
Finally, an easy one to get to.
Yeah, it is, Nate. It is. It's nice, bro. Look, if I'm honest, don't really know what to expect with the Premier League games. Where are you at with it? And would you start to kind of rest players and just ensure they're fit for the Champions League games now?
I mean, you've got to be like that. I do think we need to keep winning because you don't want to get drawn into a top four battle or a battle where we lose second. Newcastle are quietly creeping. As much as it's great to be in Champions League mode, Brentford was kind of like a bit bringing it down to reality kind of thing. And I just want to keep winning for momentum purposes. Ipswich are going down, but they're trying to go down with pride. But yeah, you do have to, I wouldn't say throw the league or anything, but now you kind of have to be cute and clever because God forbid you don't want any more injuries to this side. You don't want to hear anything more about setbacks. But then at the same time, Dan, who the hell can we play? Do we just play some kids now? Do we give more of an opportunity? Against Ipswich, I wouldn't mind seeing Kieran Tierney start. I think the back four beyond that, if that was to be the thing, wouldn't change. So yeah, man, I just want to keep winning the game, but I'd imagine there's going to be several changes. Who that's going to be, I don't know. You'd imagine the Sterlings, the Zinnies, the Tierneys, these kind of guys could potentially play. A hot take, but I actually think if we get to the final of the Champions League, I don't know why I believe this, but I think Kai Havertz will be in that squad in some capacity. I really don't know why I believe that, but yeah, man, we have to just focus.
You probably believe it because it's probably going to be true from what we hear.
Yeah, that as well.
To the final, I think if you relate what Saka's length of time was to Havertz, he'd probably be back for that final if these have got the same recovery rate as Saka, they were saying. So there could be an opportunity. For me, we don't start Kai Havertz in the final, whatever.
No, you're definitely not starting.
We might use him or utilize him in some way, and maybe it's a good sub to bring on if he's fully fit. I think it would be. However, yeah, I think for now let's just make sure we get through PSG. In the Premier League, bro, obviously second place to like 6th or 7th is actually fairly close, to be fair. If we do take our eye off of it completely, do you think there's a kind of danger that we slip towards a top 4 battle or top 6 battle? Like, is it massively important that we remain into that top 5 for you? Or does it really matter where we come to you? Like, where are you at, bro?
100% it matters. Now, there's nothing to brag about finishing second. Unfortunately, second place is first loser. But the same people that would sit there and say, "Oh, it doesn't really matter where you finish, etc." If we go from second to wherever we could mathematically finish, if it went left, they would still get onto us. So let's just try and maintain second. Let's just simply put win games. You just mentioned you're going to the game. People are all around the country are still following this club up and down the country and playing their hard-earned money in tough times to support the club. So we owe it to them. These players are winners. We naturally want to keep some sort of momentum. And crucially, as you said there, we can't get drawn out into any Champions League race. Like, there's no need for that. Let's just keep winning our games. But I do think, admittedly, with Real Madrid, even me myself that wants to compete for both in both competitions, even someone like myself, then I'm starting to kind of not check out from the league, but it's almost like make as many changes as you want, Arteta. Wrap the key players in cotton wool and let's just throw all the eggs into the PSG/Champions League basket. Might as well. That's the only thing we've got to play for now, really. Well, it is.
Facts. No, I totally agree. Yeah, all the eggs in the basket of the Champions League. It sounds nice when we say that, brother, if I'm honest, because as much as I'd like to be fighting for a league title, at least now we can concentrate just on that because we know the league title is done. In fact, if we don't beat Ipswich and they beat, I think it's Leicester, they won the league, Liverpool. So look, they're going to win it either this weekend, next weekend, or the weekend after. So for me, it's done and dusted. And I'm frustrated by it. I'm not going to lie. I've kind of over ranting and raving about it. I'm not as angry as some now. But it's kind of done for me, man. Look, I wanted to ask you for the last few minutes on Andrea Berta coming in and what Arsenal summer could potentially look like, because we know that we've got the Champions League to concentrate on, but it'll be new competitions next season, and I want to go on all four fronts next year, man. I've been trying to do that for a long time. Jurgen Klopp was able to do it. Pep's able to do it. This is what Arsenal should be trying to do now. In order for us to do that, bruv, we're going to need some players to be brought in. What are you hearing? How many positions are you looking at strengthening, and what sort of a job has Berta got, bruv, on his hands?
Berta's got a massive job. I can't, as much as I'm excited with, what we could do in the champs, and as frustrated as we are, we've been flirting with success. I don't know how much one man can change in a matter of months in terms of, we've probably every club, like from the last summer window closed, everybody's starting to kind of dot I's and cross T's. So is it a thing where he just comes in, sees deals over the line? Is it one where he just has to soak up information, learn about the club and its practices, kind of see what everybody's doing and then act from there? But I do want some statement signings, man. Like, I love world class and top class players, but for me, get a striker I genuinely believe is going to score 20 odd goals in the league to go with Bukayo Saka. Get us another left wing option. Like, at the very minimum, just improve the starting 11. Now, as you crucially said there, we need quantity as well as quality, and it has to overlap. Could you imagine in an ideal world, we're fresh off beating Madrid, we're talking about PSG, and then these two Brentford and Ipswich games that we've played / about to play on Sunday, they're must wins because we could go above Liverpool and stuff. That's the realm we want to be in. Like, everyone can say if and when everybody's fit, but in football that doesn't happen. And when you look at the 19-man squad, who is really durable? Injuries happen to everyone, and our more durable players have been injured this season. But it's not going to surprise people, unfortunately, if Tini gets injured, if Zinchenko gets injured. From what we've seen with Tomiyasu and Calafiori, with them, with Gabriel Jesus, we need a bigger squad. So, bro, I'm hoping he just gets something over the line, man. I would love to see Gyökeres in particular. I'm past the point of caring about Gyökeres, Sesko. I just want a striker, but Gyökeres would be more up my street and would make me think, wow, because he's 26. That's kind of win now mode. We're trying to do what we need to do. So I would say, Berta, can you just make some statement signings? But I also do think, Dan, there is again going to be a remit on sorting out wages and probably selling people. I think, well, they're gone anyways, but Jorginho and Partey are probably gone. Keen to see what we're doing with Zini, who's on 150 grand a week. Trossard, we hear he's not got a new deal. He's got one. What's going to happen there? Is there going to be an unpopular sell? How are we going to navigate around these things? And I would say the one away from that, Lewis Skelly, Wanyeri, Saka, Magalhaes, and there's someone else, a big player, which, forgive me, I'm missing out, but give them all new deals. So it's a big summer, man. Big summer. And bring them in early if you can. I know I'm asking a lot, but please, man. I just feel he's got something about him, like some sort of aura, Dan. I don't know why. Never had a conversation with him. But there's just something serious about him, man. Like, he just looks like he's going to do what needs to be done.
Look, I'm with you in terms of his aura, and there's definitely some excitement. I'm reassured that we've got him in now. And I don't think you are asking too much there to bring in players and make sure it's early. I think that we will. I mean, it looks like we're already linked with some names already. I'll tell you what I think will happen. What I would love to happen would be that we bring 6 or 7 faces in, and it's like, wow, we've got a brilliant squad now. But I think what will happen is this: I think we'll bring in 5 players. I think we'll bring in 2 squad players. Those squad players positionally will be a goalkeeper and a defender. And I think the 3 players that after that we bring in will all start. I think one of them will be a midfielder, one of them will be a left winger, and one of them will be a striker. That's what I think will happen. So whether it's Zubamendi, Williams, and Gyökeres that start, and we bring in Yoel Harto and Joan Garcia as the backups, feeling like that could be the sort of summer that we have. Now, hopefully we do more than that, and hopefully we bring in, cover for every position. But I think we need to be kind of realistic with that. Probably looking at a creative midfielder as maybe the only blank space that might be if we bring those 5
Fabio
in.
might stay, I don't know why. I just think he might be someone that gets to hang around.
I don't know who wants him, bruv. That's the problem.
That's why.
Yeah. I don't know how well he's done at Porto. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's got a couple of player of the match performances and a couple of assists, but I don't think it's been anywhere near the level that when we brought him over there. Maybe Fabi Vieira stays and we get Ethan for backup to Saka.
Yeah.
And that's how we cover those positions. And that for me would be a little bit deflating. However, Ethan definitely is not deflating, but Fabio Vieira kind of is, because I'd like an Alex Baena or a Cunha or a Eze, somebody like that coming in instead of a Fabi Vieira personally. But I don't know how much money we've got, bruv. They're saying we've got 300 million. If we sign Gyökeres and we sign a Williams and we sign Zubamendi, that's a couple of 100 mil near enough already. And then you've got to try and spend the rest of it to cover your goalkeeper and defenders. So,
and how much selling before buying and buying before selling? There's a lot of moving parts, man. Yeah, I don't know how you're going to play this.
There is moving parts because the squad's quite big as it stands, but that's why we've got Berta in, man, because he's got to do the job. And hopefully, it's not like we bought someone without no experience, that's for sure. So hopefully we've got the reassurance that we'll be okay. Because it's going to be a mad summer, bruv, if I'm honest with you.
It needs to be.
Yeah, it really does need to be, man. I can't lie. It really does need to be. But listen, DG, it's always a pleasure, my bro. Make sure you do me a favor, people. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure that you're following DG as well. What's your next target, DG?
Trying to get 70,000, man. I think we got 65,000 and some change, man. So big up everyone who's part of the journey, man. And make sure you're supporting Dan and myself, man. No one works harder than this guy. It's always a pleasure to not only make content with this guy, but also we finally just got something to be positive about. Me and you have done the whole Mikel Arteta, this player, that player, tactics, board. So it's nice, man. The sun's shining. We're talking about PSG. If only this was a minimum at the club, eh? It's not an easy club to support, but I love it, man.
Bruv, we love it. And unfortunately, sometimes it ain't good times. Right now, it's a good time to be a Gooner, people. Hit the like and subscribe. We're out of here. We'll see you next time. Latest, people.
Peace.